The Next Generation is Star Trek's most binge-worthy show, but only if you follow one rule. When it comes to Star Trek, every fan has their favorite series. Some swear by the groundbreaking optimism of the original series. Others gravitate toward the grit and politics of Deep Space Nine, the survival premise of Voyager, or the raw, character-driven storytelling of Enterprise. In modern times, Discovery, Strange New Worlds, and Lower Decks have found their followings, appealing to both new audiences and longtime Trekkies. But ask anyone who's tried to binge-watch their way through the franchise, and one truth becomes glaringly obvious. Star Trek: The Next Generation is both the most binge-worthy and the most dangerous to binge incorrectly. It's the crown jewel of Star Trek's television legacy, but only if you follow one essential rule. Without it, new viewers often burn out before they even scratch the surface of what makes TNG one of the greatest sci-fi shows ever made. So what's the secret rule that turns The Next Generation into the ultimate binge watch? Simple: skip Season 1 and most of Season 2. That may sound like sacrilege to purists, but it's the golden key to enjoying TNG as it was meant to be enjoyed. The rocky start that almost sank the Enterprise. When Star Trek: The Next Generation debuted in 1987, it was under immense pressure. Gene Roddenberry wanted lightning to strike twice. Paramount wanted a profitable flagship show to carry their syndication empire. Fans wanted another Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. What we got instead was a shaky ensemble crew, outdated special effects, and a tone that often wavered between stiff morality plays and baffling misfires. Season 1 is infamous among Trekkies for its clunky storytelling, heavy-handed dialogue, and wooden character dynamics. While Patrick Stewart's Captain Picard brought gravitas, even he seemed uncomfortable in the early scripts. Riker's beard hadn't yet appeared, a visual metaphor for the show's maturity. Wesley Crusher was awkwardly shoved into plots, and the writers hadn't figured out what to do with Worf, Troy, or even Data beyond cliches. Episodes like Code of Honor, widely criticized for its racist undertones, The Naked Now, a sloppy retread of TOS's The Naked Time, and Angel One, a cringe-worthy gender role reversal attempt, are legendary for the wrong reasons. Add to that uneven pacing and stiff production values, and it's no wonder that many first-time viewers give up before reaching the good stuff. Season 2 showed some improvement, introducing Dr. Pulaski, experimenting with bigger story concepts, and giving us the first Borg episode, Q Who. But even then, the series struggled with consistency. A writer's strike cut the season short, and episodes like Shades of Grey, a dreaded clip show, proved how lost the production could be. And yet, buried in those early years were glimmers of brilliance. The seeds of greatness were being planted. When TNG found its voice, everything changed in Season 3. The writers finally began to understand the characters. Picard was allowed to be more than a stiff authority figure. He became a philosopher, a diplomat, and a flawed but commanding leader. Riker grew into his Kirk-like role of action hero and first officer. Data's humanity-seeking arc blossomed into some of the show's most beloved stories. Worf found his Klingon heritage explored in depth. Troy and Beverly Crusher gained more meaningful roles. Visually, the series also improved, with better production design, tighter pacing, and a willingness to take risks. The show stopped trying to mimic TOS and leaned into its unique strengths: character-driven drama, ethical dilemmas, and bold sci-fi concepts that asked what humanity might look like in the 24th century. By the time The Best of Both Worlds, Part I, aired as the Season 3 finale, TNG had transformed into the benchmark for modern Star Trek. The Borg's invasion, Picard's assimilation as Locutus, and Riker's impossible cliffhanger choice cemented the show as a cultural phenomenon. From that point forward, The Next Generation consistently delivered some of the best television science fiction ever produced. Why TNG is so perfect for binge watching. Unlike the heavily serialized nature of modern streaming shows, TNG thrives in the binge era because it sits in the sweet spot of television storytelling. 1. Episodic structure with payoffs. Each episode tells a self-contained story, meaning you can watch 1 or 3 in a sitting without needing a flowchart of subplots. But sprinkled throughout are arcs: Worf's family, Data's quest for humanity, Picard's trauma with the Borg, that reward long-term viewers. 2. Endlessly rewatchable characters. Once the crew finds its footing, their chemistry becomes electric. Picard, Riker, Data, Geordi, Worf, Troy, and Beverly feel like a found family. The more time you spend with them, the more comforting their presence becomes, perfect for late-night marathons. 3. Moral dilemmas that still resonate. Binge-watching TNG feels different from marathoning other sci-fi because the episodes aren't just action-driven. They're thoughtful, tackling issues like artificial intelligence, cultural relativism, loyalty, prejudice, and the meaning of humanity. 4. The right balance of drama and comfort. Shows like Deep Space Nine, while brilliant, can feel too heavy for long binge sessions because of their intense serialized arcs. Voyager sometimes gets repetitive with its stranded ship premise. TNG, by contrast, offers just the right blend of variety, intellectual stimulation, and comforting familiarity. It's no wonder so many fans revisit it again and again. The rule in practice: how to binge TNG correctly. Here's how to apply the golden rule if you want the best binge experience. Skip season 1 entirely. Unless you're a completionist or curious about TV history, there's no real benefit to trudging through episodes like Justice or The Last Outpost. They'll only sour your enthusiasm. Cherry pick season 2. Watch Q, Who the Board debut, Elementary, Dear Data Data, and Sherlock Holmes mode, and The Measure of a Man, one of the greatest episodes in Trek history, putting Data's personhood on trial. The rest can be skipped. Dive into season 3 onward. Start here and you'll feel like you're watching a completely different show. From yesterday's Enterprise to the Inner Light to Dharmic to Chain of Command, TNG's golden era is unmatched. And with all good things, the series finale remains one of the best in television history, tying together themes from the pilot and delivering an emotionally satisfying conclusion. It's the perfect capstone for a binge. This strategy transforms the daunting 178-episode run into a tight, endlessly satisfying binge that plays to the show's strengths. Why this rule matters in the streaming era. In the Netflix and Paramount Plus age, binge culture is the norm. But Star Trek wasn't built for streaming, it was built for syndication. That means episodes don't always flow smoothly for modern audiences expecting cinematic arcs. The danger with TNG is that starting from the very beginning can trick you into thinking it's not worth your time. How many potential fans have bounced off The Naked Now or Code of Honor, never realizing they were only a season away from some of the most thoughtful, moving science fiction television ever made? By skipping ahead, you give the series a chance to show you why it became a cultural touchstone. And let's face it, the cast would probably thank you for it. Patrick Stewart himself has admitted that it took him years to feel comfortable in the role. Jonathan Frakes has said Riker didn't really click until the beard arrived. Even the writers have acknowledged those early years were rough. Skipping isn't disrespectful, it's efficient. The legacy of a proper binge. Following.